to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, join us for a story about the Chisholm Trail 150th anniversary celebration in Abilene, Kansas. Then join us for a story about the popular backpack brand Jansport. Next, we'll learn about TopCon, and we'll end with a look at sunflowers. Stay with us. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Good morning, I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And this is Around Kansas, and good grief, August is nearly gone.
Labor Day weekend and the summer's over.
Yeah.
You know, and
already.
Did you accomplish anything this summer, Frank? Did you get a book read?
Oh, yes.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
What did you read this summer?
No, you don't want to know.
One of my books, no doubt. Did you read one of my books, Frank?
It was Fabulous Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. It's a really strange book. She has a really strange mind. But
she's brilliant. I mean, you make
really
up worlds in your head.
I mean, you know, where she comes up with some of these names, it's like, really?
I don't know.
Who could think of that?
Who could think of it? I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, and she still writes on a yellow tablet, and, you know, geez.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I swear, I claim to be a writer, and it's so hard. And it's like Bert Davis, who's a writer of Civil War history, said to me many years ago, and I was talking about I was trying to finish up a book, and he said, "It's hard work, ain't it?" I'm like, oh God, it is. It's just like, you know, being chained or something. You can have all these wonderful ideas, but then the work it takes to make it reality, that's hard.
Yeah, I can write 60 and 30-second commercials. That's about it.
That's hard too, though. That's hard. Writing short's hard. Hey, we got since summer's almost over, the last summer fling, the rodeo down at Eskridge, or out at Eskridge, or up at Eskridge, depending on which part of the state, over in Eskridge.
Because it's over from whichever direction.
Yeah, from wherever you are, it's going to be over there. Over there in Eskridge. Over there in Eskridge. So it'll be a big time this weekend. So rodeo Saturday and Sunday nights, and starts at 7 o'clock both nights.
And good barbecue.
Good food.
Barbecue. Yeah.
Good food. We're all about good food, ain't we, Frank?
Hey, it's Kansas.
And
it's rodeo time.
If you need somebody to judge your good food, I think we'd be available for that.
There
don't
you go.
Frank? Yeah, we'll work for food. That's what we should get a little sign and put across there. We'll work for food. So if you got barbecue, if you got a chocolate tasting contest,
pumpkin pie.
Yeah, pie tasting contest.
Watermelons.
That's right.
Hey.
We'll be the judge. Here come the judge.
Oh my, so we do have fun. So anyway, you know, and it really is kind of the beginning of all kinds of festivals and events and all of that in Kansas. Fall is really fun.
It is.
And of course, the Renaissance Festival over in Bonner Springs opens as well. If you've never been, it really is something to behold.
It is incredible, and the amount of work it takes to put that on. And we did a whole show out at Bonner Springs, a couple of years ago now, like we were just saying, time flies. So if you go back to our archive, I've got interviews with a lot of the entertainers that work at the Renaissance Festival, and those folks work hard, and they research their history. And I remember talking with one of the guys who's a jouster. In fact, I think he may own the touring troupe. And it was so funny because he said, well, you know a little something about horses. And he throws his blanket back and he's riding a McClellan saddle while he's jousting. And I thought, it's pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, festival season is upon us here in the great state of Kansas.
Welcome to the Jerry Thomas Gallery, where we feature my renowned artwork, frontier military, and Native American artifacts. Behind me, you see one of the paintings that are featured in the gallery. In the gallery, we not only try to feature the historical aspect, but also the artwork and the artifacts that go into the painting. Captured in the painting is some beautiful storm clouds, and the idea came from Homer Wheeler himself. He wrote in Buffalo Trails years later that a giant storm came up and the wind and hail obliterated the trail of his scattered cattle. So how I created the painting was I used the artifacts that you see here in the gallery and incorporated it to the chaps on his person and also the rope and the saddle and the tack on the horse to create the lifelike aspect of Lost Trail.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. You know me and songs, and there was a big hit song called Abilene. We had some discussion about this before, and I got schooled on that because
Because you got it wrong.
for a long time, I thought it was about Abilene, Texas, and it's not. It is about Abilene, Kansas, and it was a song written for the movie Abilene Town that came out in 1965. So there, now you've learned something.
So the first version of the song Abilene I remember hearing as a child was by George Hamilton IV.
Yep.
Do you remember him? He was from Winston.
Lived next door.
He was from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, back home. And his family, he was pretty well-to-do. His family owned the Goody's headache powders plant. And let me tell you, Goody's headache powders are a big deal in the South. So yes, George Hamilton IV and Abilene. Abilene. The folks in Abilene really appreciate this lead into that, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yes, Chisholm Trail history and Goody's. If only the Cowboys had had Goody's headache powders. What an ad. I'm going to call them today. I got an ad campaign for you.
You're going to have to Google that. Are they still in existence?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can buy them. I think you probably buy them at Walmart. You know, nice Southern brand. Yeah, we'll look. We'll bring some. Let's take a look at Abilene. Queen of the Cowtowns, Abilene, will host the Chisholm Trail's 150th anniversary kickoff on September 2nd and 3rd. The Labor Day weekend event highlights the importance of Abilene, Kansas, and its role during the cattle drives of the Texas Longhorns. Beginning with the Longhorn Parade at 10 a.m. on Saturday, events include reenactors, trick riders, cowboy poets, storytellers, Western music artists, authors, a movie marathon, Pawnee Bill's Wild West show, steam engine train rides, a classic auto show, and a free Buckaroo Kids Camp. Saturday's festivities end with a concert by Red Stegall, followed by fireworks. Sunday's headliners are the Sons of the Pioneers and Michael Martin Murphy. In 1867, Abilene was the end point of the Chisholm Trail, where Texas cattle were loaded onto railheads and shipped. The spirit of the Chisholm Trail strives to focus on the importance of the history behind Western heritage and the Wild West. The origin of the rodeo basically started in Abilene, said Michael Hook, director of the Dickinson County Heritage Center, because these cowboys, these drovers, needed something to do for entertainment, so they would entertain their friends. So really, some of the first rodeos that ever existed happened right here on these grounds. For schedules and ticket information, visit the website on the screen or call the Dickinson County Heritage Center. See you in Abilene.
Brought to you in part by the 65th Annual Eskridge Labor Day Rodeo, September 2nd and 3rd. If you love rodeo, mark your calendar right now for the 65th Annual Labor Day Rodeo in Eskridge, September 2nd and 3rd at 7 p.m. This is entertainment for your whole family, calf roping, steer mugging, barrel racing, and more. Now let's rodeo.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
I was in an accident where I fell off a roof. I don't know why I started to research stem cells, but I did. And I visited with the doctors. They were excellent. I had my neck done, my shoulders done, section of my back, my hips, my sacrum, my sciatica, and my tailbone. Now I am having better range of motion in my arms and my neck and my back. It was a long road to get there, but I'm so glad that I found them.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. And here we are again on Around Kansas.
You got your new backpack for school. Are you ready?
Well, no, I don't. But, you know, a lot of people do have backpacks. Do you have a Jansport backpack?
I think a lot of my kids do. I think my grandkids sure do.
Well, virtually everybody has a backpack now. Without a backpack, you know, it's like you got to have that loaded down. Of course, when we went to school, we had those big old zipper notebooks, and you know, you filled that thing up and carried it, and then somebody would come up and tip it out of your hand. Now they have backpacks, but.
What a sad life, Frank.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get to do a story about Jansport, and believe it or not, a Kansan and his cousin created Jansport.
How cool is that?
Yeah. This is a Kansas profile by Ron Wilson, director of the Huck Boyd National Institute for Rural Development at Kansas State University. Have you ever had a mountaintop experience? Today, we'll meet a man from rural Kansas who has had many mountaintop experiences. In the process, he's taken a company to the summit of American business. Skip Yowell is co-founder of Jansport, one of the nation's leading outdoor equipment and apparel manufacturers. Skip grew up in Grainfield, population 321 people. While growing up, Skip spent several summers visiting his aunt, uncle, and cousin Murray in Seattle. Skip loved the outdoors and went hiking with Murray in the mountains. Back in Kansas, Skip attended Wichita State. One day, Skip got a call from Murray, who explained that one of his class projects at the University of Washington was to make something unique out of aluminum. Based on his hiking experience, Murray designed an adjustable aluminum frame for backpacking, one that was lightweight and strong and allowed for individual precision. The design won an award, and Murray decided to market it, but he needed some help. First, he told his girlfriend, who was very skilled in sewing, "Jan, if you marry me, I'll name the company after you." She agreed, and they were wed, and that was the beginning of the company known as Jansport. What about marketing the Jansport backpacks? Murray called upon his old friend and cousin back in Kansas, Skip Yowell. Skip relocated to Seattle to help his cousin. This is the 1960s, and the three self-described hippies went to work. They had no business plan or money, but they did have Murray's innovative design, Jan's sewing skills, and Skip's creative instincts and love of people. They started making packs in the upper floor of Uncle Norm's transmission shop. To save money, Skip slept there on a cot, and Aunt Mabel did the books. On the weekends, they'd go hiking in the mountains for fun and to test their equipment. They refined their products and started selling packs to retailers of outdoor products. One day, Skip got a call from the bookstore buyer for the University of Washington. This bookstore sold the usual campus-related items, but also had a line of outdoor products, including the Jansport backpacks. Since it rains a lot in Seattle, students were buying the backpacks to put their books in to keep their books dry. Plus, it made it easier to carry the books. Skip and Murray improved their design and sent them to the bookstore, and the new backpacks sold like hotcakes. During the 70s, the packs sold in college bookstores across the country. During the 80s, they caught on at high schools. And by the 1990s, backpacks were used at the grade school level. Today, virtually every kid goes back to school with a backpack. Today, Jansport is the world's largest backpack maker and a global leader in outdoor apparel and equipment. Skip wrote a book about the experience titled The Hippie Guide to Climbing the Corporate Ladder and Other Mountains. He retired in 2010. Skip and his wife Winnie bought a home back in Kansas in the unincorporated community of St. Peter with an estimated population of 8 people. Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest sport in the West.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, HEINEN Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call HEINEN Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family-owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Topeka's first Comic and Game Expo is the creation of international award-winning artist The Gypsy, who saw the need for a true geek convention in his hometown. In its 4th year, the expo has grown from 750 first-year attendees to 2,641 fans in 2016. The venue has moved from its previous location in a Topeka downtown convention center to Kansas Expo Center Ag Hall. Artists, authors, and vendors abound at TopCon, and its core is based around family. From cosplayers to interactive exhibits and activities to panels and entertainment, TopCon Geek Expo has something for everyone. Past celebrity guests have included the Enigma, Scream Queen, and director Debbie Rochon and Spencer Wilding's Star Wars Darth Vader. TopCon Geek Expo 2017, which takes place September 9th and 10th, continues the tradition of bringing the fans great celebrity guests. This year's lineup include Deep Roy, the actor who played all 159 Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Larry Hama, editor, writer, and artist of G.I. Joe comics, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Greg the Hammer Valentine, Yellow Power Ranger Nakia Barisi, and Pink Power Ranger Catherine Sutherland. TopCon has partnered with the Norseman Brewing Company and Noto Arts District of Topeka to bring TopCon's adult fans an after-party on September 9th from 7 to midnight featuring the Scallywags and Clearly Guilty. Pirate comedy and musical comedy at its very best. For the family-minded and TopCon's younger fans, there is a Forge 80s party at the historic Jayhawk Theater of Kansas. The party, which will run from 7 p.m. to midnight on September 9th, features video gaming, 3 80s cover bands, and food and fun. Mark your calendars for September 9th and 10th, an epic weekend, all courtesy of TopCon Geek Expo.
Brought to you in part by the 65th Annual Eskridge Labor Day Rodeo, September 2nd and 3rd. If you love rodeo, mark your calendar right now for the 65th Annual Labor Day Rodeo in Eskridge, September 2nd and 3rd at 7 p.m. This is entertainment for your whole family, calf roping, steer mugging, barrel racing, and more. Now let's rodeo. Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter. Are you going to start or me?
I never get
I guess
to
we
start.
started.
I don't know. I'm just sitting here waiting, Frank, because you never let me start. But
So anyway, do you know that the sunflower state is Kansas? And do you know?
is this like a trick question or something? Or
Well, I really do have a place I'm going with this. You probably aren't old enough to remember Bing Crosby's song, Sunflower.
no, I'm not. Thank God. No, I'm not.
Well, the thing is then many years later along came a song called Hello, Dolly. And I mean, I'm sure that there wasn't any borrowing, but there was a lawsuit because Sunflower and Hello, Dolly, the first 12 bars, were very, very similar. And that's really it. So that's supposed to be your lead-in to talk about something about sunflowers. But we are the sunflower state, and there is a song by Bing Crosby called Sunflower.
Let's just see the sunflowers. I don't think we need any more after that. Sunflowers line our roadsides and fields, dot the pastures, dress up the fence lines. The sunflower state is blooming. According to the Kansas State Historical Society, long before statehood, the sunflower began to develop a connection with Kansas. Traders on the Santa Fe Trail commented on the flower's presence. Stephen Long's expedition through Kansas in 1820 documented birds feeding on the flower's seeds. Early settlers burned the stalks for fuel and fed the seeds to their poultry. Soon after statehood, Kansans began to suggest the state officially adopt the flower. The Capitol Square is surrounded by a dense growth of rampant sunflowers, wrote Noble Prentice, editor of the Atchison Champion in 1880. They grow as big, rank, and yellow as if they were 40 miles from a house. The sunflower ought to be made the emblem of our state. Kansas delegates to the Grand Army of the Republic Convention in St. Louis in 1887 displayed the sunflower as their emblem. The Newton Daily Republican suggested in response to the favorable reception that Kansas should be called the Sunflower State. However, the sunflower was not highly regarded by all. An 1895 law called the sunflower a noxious weed that should be destroyed. Other Kansans appreciated the flower's hardiness and endurance. Kansans who attended rodeos in Colorado Springs in 1901 displayed the sunflower as a badge. It presented a pleasing scene, unique and attractive to every citizen of the Sunflower State. George P. Morehouse, state senator from Council Grove, recalled, "Our hearts swelled with pride, and our thoughts and words fondly dwelt upon the resources, traditions, and triumphs of the state we all love so much. That occasion suggested the sunflower as our state flower."
We're going to get out of here. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
Around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
This is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes. Hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.